Of the three officers indicted, the three officers involved, only one officer was indicted, and that one officer was not even indicted relating to Breonna Taylor. He was indicted, this is Officer Hankison, he was indicted for the stray bullets that went into other apartments because they fired so many bullets at Breonna Taylor. I want to, before I get to the breaking news, I want to set up what Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron said when he talked about not indicting, not charging for murder any of the officers.
Probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed. On the other, the grand jury serves to protect the public against unfounded criminal prosecutions where probable cause is lacking. The grand jury is unique in our criminal justice system because it operates independent of the court and the prosecutor. The hallmark of the grand jury is its independence from outside influence. This independence is necessary to ensure that justice is done both for the victims and for the accused. After hearing the evidence from our team of prosecutors, the grand jury voted to return an indictment against Detective Hankison for 3 counts of wanton endangerment for wantonly placing the 3 individuals in apartment 3 in danger of serious physical injury or death. The charge of wanton endangerment in the first degree.
So right there, you heard from the Kentucky Attorney General that the grand jury, of their own volition, decided to return an indictment of wanton endangerment to one of the officers, Officer Hankison. The grand jury, he said, was independent. That's the hallmark of a grand jury. It's independent of the Attorney General, politics, any of that. So they made this decision themselves. Well, this just came out. This is the breaking news. Breaking. A judge has ruled in favor of one of the grand jurors in the Breonna Taylor case. That grand juror is anonymous, meaning the juror can speak publicly about the grand jury proceedings. Quote, "This court finds that the traditional justification for secrecy in this matter are no longer relevant." Okay, so now the grand juror can speak. "It is thereby ordered, anonymous grand juror number 1 motion to release grand jury proceedings is granted. Any participant in those proceedings, including grand jurors, may disclose such information subject to the trial court order regarding." Here's where the rubber meets the road. Reminder, the grand juror filed the motion because, as their representation explained, they felt like Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron was using them as a shield. And as a second juror has since come forward, expressing a similar desire to be able to speak publicly. The anonymous juror's attorneys just sent out a press release with a statement by the juror. It confirms what many have suspected. Let me zoom in on this. Quote, "The grand jury was not presented any charges other than the 3 wanton endangerment charges against Detective Hankison." Let me repeat that. The grand jury was not presented any charges other than the 3 wanton endangerment charges against Detective Hankison. The Breonna Taylor juror statement is very damning. The grand jury didn't agree certain actions were justified, nor did it decide the indictment should be the only charges in the Breonna Taylor case. The grand jury was not given the opportunity to deliberate on those charges. So, and this is from a Vice reporter, this thread, really makes you think back to last month when AG Cameron made his announcement about the Breonna Taylor investigation and said the grand jurors agreed with the charges. According to at least one juror now, that appears to have been the exact opposite of the truth. So let me break this down for you in English so I could dumb it down for you folks. Basically, what we have here is the Attorney General of Kentucky claimed that the grand jury in the Breonna Taylor case, and if you're living under a rock and you don't know anything about this, bottom line, Breonna Taylor, 26-year-old black woman, a nurse. She was treating coronavirus patients when she was killed in March. Police came with a no-knock warrant. They, according to at least a dozen witnesses, did not knock, did not announce themselves as police. At 12:30 in the morning, Breonna Taylor and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, were sleeping in bed. They then used a battering ram to batter through the door. And Kenneth Walker, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, I mean, what would you do? Republicans say, don't tread on me. I should have as many guns as I want to protect my family, protect my home. Well, Kenneth Walker didn't know that it was police. It was 12:30 in the morning, and he started shooting at what he thought were intruders that were going to cause him and his girlfriend violence. Well, the police started shooting back, dozens of shots, which killed her Breonna Taylor, Kenneth's girlfriend at the time. Again, a 26-year-old nurse, no criminal record. I'm not going to get into the no-knock warrant and all those things yet because I've already gotten into those. It was given as a no-knock warrant by a judge, but they did not. They did not, even though Attorney General Daniel Cameron claimed that they knocked. Even though Attorney General Daniel Cameron claimed that they knocked, that was one witness who said they heard the police announce themselves and knock. There were over a dozen witnesses who said they did not hear the police announcing themselves. So it was already fishy and, frankly, reeked of a cover-up when Attorney General Daniel Cameron said, we have a witness that confirms they did knock and announce themselves. Those other witnesses, the 12 witnesses that said they didn't hear anybody, they didn't hear police open up, all they heard was or saw was a battering ram, the Attorney General discarded that. But the key here, and let me show you this one more time. This is from the anonymous juror that has now been allowed to, a judge has granted this anonymous juror on the grand jury to speak. Quote, this is from the grand juror's, PR person, and the PR person is about to have a press conference. The grand jury was not presented any charges other than the 3 wanton endangerment charges against Detective Hankison. He went on to say, he or she, I don't know the sex of the grand juror, the Breonna Taylor juror statement is very damning. The grand jury didn't agree certain actions were justified, nor did it decide the indictment should be the only charges in the Breonna Taylor case. The grand jury was not given the opportunity to deliberate on those charges. Basically, what this grand juror has just revealed is, contrary to what Daniel Cameron, the Kentucky Attorney General, who, by the way, I believe is married to somebody. Jen, could you check me on this? He's somehow related to Mitch McConnell. He's married to Mitch McConnell's somebody. I don't know. The grand jury, Daniel Cameron said the grand jury agreed with him that on only charging wanton endangerment, which is at the max in Kentucky, 5 years. That's the maximum sentence you can get for wanton endangerment. He claimed that the grand jury agreed with him that this was not a case warranting first-degree murder, second-degree murder, third-degree murder, manslaughter. That is what Attorney General of Kentucky, Daniel Cameron, said at the time of the announcement. He said the grand jury is an independent body that totally separate from the Attorney General or politics. Well, what this grand jury just revealed is the grand jury was not even given the option. They weren't given the choice to even deliberate on first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter. The grand jury was only given the option for wanton endangerment. That is in direct opposition to what the Kentucky Attorney General told the country and the world, because this case has had major attention all around the world.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.
Status